When I'm walking down the street.
I do want to say to Doni and many of you in this room that over a very long career in this city, all of you have helped me and my colleagues tell the truth and to try to tell.
I may not look like you and you me, but
Take my hat off.
I'm from South Carolina, so I just...
What does this event mean to you, Miss Peggy Moss?
Oh, my heart,
Happy 20th anniversary.
my heart is about loving up on my sisters. Do you know what it feels like to have your sisters in the room? Done.
And dare to be different and unique. I'm gonna be the best me I can be by letting His glory shine through. I am beautiful, I am blessed, but not just what you see in the flesh. I'm free from people, free from myself. There's a
the doctor lived next door to the janitor, to the reverend, and the lawyer. We were together. Now we get so high and mighty that you create stress for your society because you don't like poor black folks either. That's a health problem. Get yourself together so I can stop being taking care of geriatric people and get back to pediatrics. I thank you, Doni, for all you've done. Let's keep doing it all the more.
letting His glory shine through. Dare to be you, dare to be me, dare to be different and unique. I'm gonna be the best me I can be by letting His glory shine through. And I dare you, I dare you, I dare you to be you.
First name's Doni, last name's Glover. In it to win it for the long haul, baby. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Not too cold. It is wintertime. We don't want it too warm. Got those holy rollers thinking it's the end of the world. These the last days and times. It's 60 degrees and it's winter. Nonetheless, we are here today to talk with a longtime friend, Mr. Carl Brown. He's held executive and leadership positions in a variety of industries. He's even been called a transformational leader by the one and only Earl Graves, Black Enterprise. In his resume, it says that he is fair, he's honest, and a policy guru. Now, I have a question for Mr. Carl Brown Jr. And by the way, he's working at the Small Business Development Center over at Howard University in Washington, D.C. But I have a poignant question for him. Let's welcome him to the show. Good morning, Mr. Carl Brown. I got my Morgan colors on, by the way.
I love it. I love it. I got my Howard sweater on, brother. But hey, Doni, it's good to see you, my friend. Hey, man, it is no better way to start off Black History Month than to be spending some time with you. So I appreciate you bringing me on. I thank you so much for this opportunity. So, you know, be more news before the news, man. And you've been doing this for a long time. And I can tell you, we all respect what you bring to the table. You know, thank you.
Bless your heart. So I'm not a has-been.
Oh, not at all, man. Who said that? One of your haters? You know,
Cat Williams said if you got 10 haters, you better see how to get 15 by the summer.
That's right. That's right. If you ain't got a truckload or a bus load, you ain't doing something right. They don't care about you. That's when you know you a has-been.
I got two books, man. I got one, Unapologetically Black, and I got the other, I Am Black Wall Street. Both available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. And I've been watching y'all gurus, so I got to tell them what y'all say. Please hit the subscribe button. Please make sure you come back and check out our broadcast Monday through Friday, 9 a.m., Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. And, of course, we're on WEAA tonight at midnight with Hip Hop Chronicles and the one and only Mike Nice. But, Carl, I got a question for you. Why do I got to prove I'm black? Why can't I just get a damn contract? Why I got to prove I'm a minority? When I get in a vehicle and go down the street and the police pull me over and they say, you're driving while black, they know I'm black. Everybody know I'm black. Why do I gotta prove that I'm black? I'm black. Look at me.
Isn't that the craziest thing, man?
And if I don't prove I'm black, then I can't get no contract.
You can't get a contract. You can't get a contract if you're black. You can't get a contract if you ain't black. I mean, you know, it's unbelievable. You know, we are under attack, Donnie. I mean, plain and simple. I mean, the silliness is you got to prove you're black and that you were harmed by, you know, racial discrimination. And the example you just gave of driving down the street, it could be while you in the library. It could be while you walking from home. You fit the description. What is the description?
Number one male. The police use this terminology, number one male. If you're white, it's a number two male.
Yeah, okay. So I didn't even know that, but I know to fit the description garbage. And, you know, and as you pointed out, you know, with Mr. Graves, remember what happened to Butch. He was told to get on the platform at Penn Station in his nice suit. Where he just got off the train because the police were looking for a 5'8", stocky build guy, black guy with a white t-shirt and jeans. Butch gets off the train with a suit and two briefcases, and they say, well, he fit the description. What was the description? If you said 5'8", Butch is 6'5", slim, not stocky, he's wearing the suit, the guy you look for is wearing a white t-shirt, how did he fit the description? So, but hey, we're under attack, man. I mean, the Fairless Fund and other funds like that are under attack and in litigation. For what? Because you want to provide grant money to black women, which is the number one demographic of new small business self-starters. Okay, let's put that on the table. The majority of my clients are black women, and when they walk in my door, Donnie, they come in here with a clean pad and a pen, and they're taking notes. They're writing it down. They're getting it done, and that's right. And the thing is that the banks and, you know, all of these angel investors, all that, they give them less than 2% of the funds.
Why?
Why? Because, to me,
they're the most trustworthy of our community, aren't they?
Most trustworthy, hardworking, and educated. Don't leave that out, okay?
Hardworking, trustworthy, educated. Why are they giving black women so much crap? But yet, black women are overcoming these hurdles at record numbers and spanking that ass.
Well, that is why the problem exists, okay?
Because they're doing well?
Because they're doing well. Exactly.
It's so asinine.
It is. But
it's antithetical to business. I saw in the news yesterday where PayPal is laying off staff. Now, you know something funky is about to go down. PayPal. Remember
not too long ago.
They killed the dude from Cash App.
Well, look. Remember not too long ago, UPS negotiated this contract, right? What did they announce? 12,000 are getting laid off. Wasn't too long ago that during the summer, they did that big contract for their drivers. Now, then fast forward 6 months, we're laying off 12,000 employees.
That sounds like automation.
Save $1 billion.
That sounds like automation.
Yeah, well, automation, and what they're going to do is hire new people that are not in that original contract. So they wind up paying less. You know, it's the old trick. It's the old trick, man. You know, hey, here's the shiny object. You know, we looking over there and they sleight of hand. So, But at the end of the day, this is what we got to focus on, Donnie. We got to focus on building our businesses. We got to focus on Black excellence, all right? And that's what my office is focused on. We are here to help.
You know, Carl, when we talk about the Black Wall Streets that happen around the country, including there in Washington, D.C. Now you gotta correct me. Was it 4th Street?
Well, LaDroit Park was
You had black hotels.
All that. You know, still the houses are still here for you know, by and large. LaDroit Park over here. I used to live down there in Slow Hall, which is, you know, named after Lucy Diggs Slow, which founded the AKAs, and is a cousin of Elder Watson Diggs, who founded Kappa Alpha Psi. So there's a little bit of history right there. But yeah, LaDroit Park, I mean, you know, that was a thriving community. Just like in where I'm from in Jamaica, Queens, Adelaide Park was home to Count Basie and James Brown and a whole bunch of people. And during the course, you know, Lena Horne and all of them lived there.
Now, Jamaica, Queens, or Queens in general, was an upwardly mobile Black community initially?
Absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, let me tell you, where I grew up in Rochdale Village, it was one of these experiments. It was a co-op, not a project. And so when you paid, you had to buy shares into your apartment, okay? What we had was it was like a square. On either side was a elementary school, junior high school in the middle, library, shopping mall. On the other side, shopping mall with a movie theater. We were self-contained. Numerous parks in the development, 20 buildings, 3 sections, 7 apartments on every floor. Now, initially, we moved in 1964. It was like 10% Black, 90% white. Okay. You had on either side, you had a bus route. And on the side where I lived, you had the Long Island Railroad, which take you right into Manhattan or Brooklyn. So, I mean, it was very convenient. So a lot of us moved out there. Now, over the years, you had white flight, and it became all Black, you know. And I call it Wakanda, because we were living there thriving. A lot of my friends are doctors, lawyers, business owners. I mean, they are doing extremely well that have moved out of there, and they're all over the planet, you know? And so, you know, we can have strong communities, but it's gotta be, you know, everybody going in. And what happens a lot of times is we jump out. As soon as we make a couple dollars, we gone. But guess what? That's what the white folks did too. When that white flight came, they moved in the 60s and moved out in the 70s. Well, guess what? Why? They started making more money. Because I'm still in contact with a lot of people that were friends of mine back then, and their parents was starting to make money with it. Most of the wives were housewives, but the fathers were working, and this was their starter home. So they jetted out, moved out to Long Island or wherever they went to. But, you know, we can build strong communities with strong businesses, you know, and that's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to teach that here every day.
Well, now you're going to have to school me. Should we be moving once we get a few dollars? Should we be moving to the next level? Because now, let me give you Baltimore, for instance. As we make more money in Baltimore City and we move to Baltimore County, white people are moving to our old neighborhoods in Baltimore City.
Yep.
So I'm
there
trying to
was,
understand
yeah,
the musical chairs that's going on, because it's like we going in a big damn circle. Why don't you just stay put?
yeah, well, you know, that's the thing. I don't know why we move out to Baltimore County, but
That's
I
fine.
will tell you this.
That's fine. Move out there.
Less crime.
But I'm telling you,
Theoretically, less crime.
but the white people moving here
Right.
to the belly of the beast.
And guess what? Because
And then,
now
but they bring bike lanes.
Oh yeah, all that, you know. Because look here, Donnie.
We don't like
double
bike lanes.
income, no kids. They don't need your social services. They don't need your school system.
We don't need their bike lanes.
Right, they got the bike lanes, but what they want to do is they want to be able to go to all the restaurants and the theater and all that. There was a book written that when I was in grad school in the 80s. This book was out called Baltimore Unbound. And they talked about that, you know, the whole gentrification before gentrification became a big word. But if you notice, before the pandemic, gentrification was one of the words that we heard all day, every day on the news, everywhere else. Everybody was talking about it, right? Pandemic hit, guess what? I haven't heard that word since.
So look, I found your book, Baltimore Unbound, A Strategy for Regional Renewal by David Rusk.
Yes.
And this book came out in 95. In his highly acclaimed book, Cities Without Suburbs, former Albuquerque Mayor David Rusk explained why regions with wealthy suburbs surrounding a poor central city face continuing economic hardship. Now in Baltimore Unbound, he applies his ideas in an illuminating study of Baltimore's continuing economic stagnation, offering a frank assessment of its causes and possible solutions. Here's a solution. Let me help you out, Carl.
Yep.
Back around 1910, there was a mayor in Baltimore. His name was J. Barry Mahou. He is known as the father of segregation. There's a community over in North Baltimore called Roland Park. And Roland Park is the first suburban garden community in this city. Now, this city, going back to the Civil War, had the largest population of freed blacks prior to the Civil War. So Baltimore was this bastion of hope. You could come here, escape slavers, and possibly even make your way up north or just blend in with the locals. They introduced an ordinance which said that whites could not move into black neighborhoods and blacks could not move into white neighborhoods because they wanted to protect this suburban garden community called Roland Park. Well, that mentality, I don't know if the law ever went into effect, but certainly the mentality went into effect and was replicated around the country such that Baltimore is still segregated.
Oh, yeah.
But the real segregation is between the haves and the have-nots. But it's so vicious, they got poor whites telling upwardly mobile blacks that you are a nigger.
Yeah.
You in the trash cans. I mean, it's the most
how about that? The
most insidious thing I've ever seen in my life. You're digging in the trash can, but I'm a nigger.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but you know, we can't focus on that. I mean, that should not be our focus. Our focus should be self-reliance.
Well, that's what I want to get to. That's what I want to get to.
Building our community.
We built our communities, and the sons of guns come and burn it down.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, look at Marion Barry. Marion Barry was the greatest political leader, and big ups to Wayne Curry. I got to give him honorable mention. But Marion Barry, you could see all of the attacks by the white media by white power brokers and even some dumb black people. But the people of Washington, D.C. love that man unconditionally.
Yeah, because why? Because he gave them hope. He gave them jobs. He gave them contracts. He leveled the playing field. He built Prince George's County because all the people that worked in the district, they didn't have, well, you got to live here. They didn't have home rule back then. So they commuted out to Prince George's County. That's why you have Prince George's County, all because of Marion Barry, and he never got credit. And like you said, he was under attack. No different than the Fairless Fund and others right now, and Harvard discrimination suit and all that. It's all to get at us. I said that's all it is.
We had the Freedmen's Bank over there in Washington, D.C. also. The Freedmen's Bank. Right after slavery, they created this bank, supposed to give black people some funds to get on their feet. The white people messed it up. Then they bring in Frederick Douglass, just like they brought in Barack Obama after George Bush to clean up the mess. And it was already bankrupt.
Yep. Well, that's what happened with Barack. If you remember, they had the TARP funding and all that, $1 trillion, and it was written on 3 sheets of paper, $1 trillion. We're gonna give you $1 trillion, and where's the policy? What can they do with it? What can't they do with it? We don't care about that. Here it is $1 trillion. It was just a transfer of wealth. That's all it was. And we, again, were not at the table and didn't benefit from none of that. And as taxpayers, we paid that bill again, and got no benefit. So one of the things that I'm talking about, Donnie, is why don't we give out grants to people who want to start small businesses? Why don't we, for the first 3 to 5 years, not charge them any taxes while they build the business?
The same way you gave the homesteaders a break out there in the Midwest. You let them get homes. You gave them money.
Yeah, you gave them land. And then, and then funding to build a home. And then we're stuck over here, and we charged usury rates for everything. So when we go to buy a house, I was reading a story about a young lady has inherited a $2 million house, but she can't get a bank loan because they want her to move. You shouldn't be living in this neighborhood. It's crazy. It's crazy. Wow. And when we go to court, we can't get no relief. And we go to our politicians, and we can't get any help. So we're stuck between a rock and a hard place, and that's why we got to focus on our own growth and development.
So let me get a shot of hope. I need a success story, Carl. I want you to share with us a success story. Somebody that went from here to there, and now they soaring. Give me a success story.
I can give you one. Some ladies came in here, and we helped them, and they opened up their business called Peel House, and they do they're estheticians. They work on your skin, and they do Botox and all that stuff. And let me tell you, they are thriving. All of them worked other places, and they came together and put their own business together. And they're thriving in D.C. That's just one. There's numerous folks that we have helped to break the chains and start, generating that generational wealth, and the thing is that you don't waste your time spending your money on stuff that depreciates. Spend your money on expanding your business, bringing in new services, bringing in new products, building a second one, as opposed to, I need to go to Bali for a week or a month or whatever, or I need to get some red bottom shoes and all that. You can do all that later, but once you build those businesses, just look at Jeff Bezos. These other people, they built out their companies Now they bought their yachts and they hired people to run their businesses. They're no longer doing the day-to-day. You can reach me by phone. I might be on my yacht. I might be on my plane. I might be at a restaurant or whatever, but I don't have to be in the office. I mean, when we moved out, yeah.
No, go. I cut you off.
No, I was going to say, when we moved out to the suburbs, we found out we found that these houses had offices in them. Well, why was that? We were always at work in the office, right? While they were at home in their office.
In their
now
drawers.
we in home in the office.
In their drawers.
Yeah. So, I mean, at the end of the day, man, we got to stay focused on building our communities, making them better. You know, and we yell and scream, well, some of us yell and scream about how the school system ain't working. But if you're not teaching your kids at home, the school system ain't going to work for you. Because if you depend on that, God help you. God help you.
I want you to take me to something you just alluded to, the yelling and the screaming. The yelling and the screaming.
It doesn't get you anywhere.
We just come through, and we're winding down in another 13 days. Seasonal depression.
Yeah.
From Thanksgiving to Valentine's Day, this can be a very stressful time in a person's life, especially if they've lost loved ones or they've been isolated or ostracized, and you add in COVID.
Yep.
This new normal can be very isolating. Talk to me. Now, I'm almost going to bet you no one's asked you this question. You're the small business development man. You're the policy guru. But every day people come in your office, including these ladies from Peel House. I know you've had to deal with mental health issues.
Oh, absolutely, Donnie. Absolutely. And let me tell you how I dealt with it. Okay. I brought in psychologists to help us. You see? So
well, damn, I want to sign up for that class. Sign me up.
So, and we've had mental health advocates do webinars for us. So, yeah, you see, my approach may be a little different. I look at the person holistically, so I bring in dietitians, bodybuilders, psychologists. The people
you can't buy them red bottoms, you can't buy them Cadillacs, and you can't buy steaks every damn day either.
Yeah, that's right. And smoke them cigars either. So, I mean, every now and then, everything, you got to do everything in moderation. I mean, we all, fall victim to that, Sometimes we overindulge, But you have to do everything in moderation.
Discipline.
Yeah,
You talking about that discipline?
You got to be, as an entrepreneur, you must be disciplined because there's so many things that are coming at you with the speed of light. And if you're not focused, you're going to miss things. And when you miss things like the law, because you are ignorant of it, doesn't mean you are, you are accepted. It is accepted.
Absolved. You're not absolved.
You're absolved. You still going to get in trouble. If you don't realize that you got to pay your, keep your business in compliance with the state, you got to pay your annual dues. And 2-3 years go by, or you ain't paid your federal taxes, and 2-3 years go by.
They come and knocking.
Yeah, they come and knocking, and it might not work out for you.
And they bringing you a bill. Here's your bill.
With interest. And we go, oh, wow, I don't, it don't work that way. It doesn't work that way. And so, and that's why it's important to have organizations like this available to you to help you stay focused on the things that you're busy trying to keep your household running, trying to get your business running, You know, your kids might be going to school, might be getting bullied or whatever, or, you know, you don't have enough money and they need to eat at school and, you know, hot school lunch or whatever, and all these are things that are real. And
Carl,
so
I want you to take me back to the houses in suburbia having an office.
have an office.
So that means that the home is a business.
Oh yeah, you can use part of your, you know, use write off part of that office.
But suppose you don't live in suburbia and you got your home office. Suppose you live in the hood, in the projects, and you're using your closet as your office. I saw a person on Facebook had an office in a closet.
Well, you know, hey, come on now. You can do a podcast. You can do a podcast in the closet.
Damn right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, but you know, you just gotta figure out how to do it properly. You know, and that's when you would contact somebody like Beverly Winstead, you know, top tax attorney, and talk to her about, you know, what is acceptable, what's not acceptable. You know, and then you just go ahead and do it that way. You know, there's always a lane, believe me, there's always a lane, but you just need to know the rules and regulations. That's all, to keep you in that lane, you know.
So
and
look at, you're no stranger to the airwaves. I'm going to come off camera because I feel like I'm cutting you off and I don't want to cut your legs off. Tell them about your podcast. Tell them about your show.
Okay, well, look, we celebrating 8 years on the air on Sirius XM Channel 141, the Small Business Report. We talk about all things small business. This week, we're talking about cybersecurity. And this is an issue that a lot of small businesses say, well, it doesn't affect me. It only affects large banks and corporations, all that. No, believe me, you are the low-hanging fruit, because these large corporations have departments where they have like 10, 15, 20 people in it that they're paying six figures and better to protect them. Who's protecting your company? All right? Who's protecting you? And that's why I put this out there all the time on the show. I have multiple people come on talking about cybersecurity and how small businesses can protect themselves. Another thing that we talk about is intellectual property. We hear about all these artists buying their masters back and all this. What is the rhyme and reason for all that? They could have copywritten all that stuff and published it, and that way they would own it prior to somebody else owning it, you know? So we talk about how to get a patent, how to get a trademark, how to copyright your material. I've copywritten stuff as well. It's not that difficult, and it's not that costly. Now, getting a patent is a little costly, but at Howard University, we have what is called a patent and trademark resource center right here in the School of Business, right around the corner from my office. And we take our clients over there all the time.
What?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Take them over there all the time, and we start that process, and that saves them thousands of dollars. And we have a relationship with the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office in Alexandria, where we try to get our companies, our clients, a discount, because they do have pro bono legal services at the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. So we try to go through that way to help our folks, you know, get these patents and trademarks. And I've had, you know, people come on the show to discuss how to get a patent, how to get a trademark, and the services that they provide. So, you know,
why do you do this? Why, Carl?
Why? Because we need to know, number one. Number two, I told you I'm out of Jamaica, Queens, man. I was surrounded by rap artists, okay? And let me tell you, Donnie.
I thought you was about to say, I'm surrounded by criminal, shiesty individuals. I thought you was about to bust out in a rap.
Hey, them two. Them two, they even made a movie about them on Showtime called The Supreme Team. Remember?
I did. I saw it. One of them is a cop. One of them is a cop.
Yeah, well, look here, man. So all those guys went to elementary and junior high school with me, man.
You hung out with the Supreme Team?
Yeah, Maze,
wow.
Supreme was in my class, man. Come on, man.
Wow.
Come on. So I mean, you know, hey, Donnie, I always say it like this, man. You could have made a right turn or a left turn. You know what I'm saying? You could have made a right turn or a left turn.
I saw that documentary. I saw that documentary.
I saw it too this year. I hadn't seen it before. I heard about it. I was looking at my friends on there. They were interviewing my friends and everything. Yo, you know, hey, you could have made a right turn or a left turn.
His name is Corey Pagace. Did you know him? Do you know him?
I didn't know him. I ain't know him, but I knew Supreme. I knew Nathan Mays. That was the guy with the green eyes. He was the enforcer.
Why didn't you choose to sell drugs?
Because I was an athlete, man. And remember back then, they ain't bother athletes, you know? So we were out there running, playing baseball, basketball, football, and you know, they ain't bother us. We didn't get that, hey, come over here, let's talk. Nah, they wasn't doing that. Plus, we also had the 7%ers in the nation.
Yes.
Right there.
That's when that came about.
Exactly. So, I mean, there were other avenues for you. We chose academics and athletics, you know, for the most part. So a lot of my guys went into law enforcement. So they were the jailers or the police officers locking up our other buddies, or, you know, it's like cat and mouse, man, you know, game of chase. But you know, it was a choice, and it wasn't that difficult. Believe me, it wasn't difficult at all.
How did you come? I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying that's what motivates me to do what I do so much, because, you know, I want to give back to the community. And believe me, I went up to New York last year to a funeral, and I mean, folks were like, the words that they were using to tell their families, their kids, to describe me and some of the other guys that came from out of town was like legends. I mean, you know, they were talking that. I was like, man, it give you goosebumps how people feel about you, man, because they see you thriving in the community, growing and giving back. Even though I'm not in Jamaica, Queens, I give back to Jamaica, Queens. I give back to Baltimore. I give back to DC, Southeast DC. You know, you don't have to be there to give back. You just got to be conscious to give back. And that's what I do.
What borough would you like in Southeast DC to?
I would say
Brooklyn.
Nah, man, because them cats, man. Them boys in Brooklyn back then, man. See, I went to Brooklyn Tech, man. Them dudes used to get on the train. We'd be in gang fights and stuff, man. It was crazy. I would say a little bit Brooklyn, maybe part of the South Bronx, you know, some areas.
I made the mistake in the Bronx of saying to a resident of Co-op City that they were projects. Oh my God.
Oh yeah, because Co-op City's the sister to Rochdale. So it's a co-op, not a
these ain't no projects, these are co-ops.
That's right. That's right. Big difference, bro.
I was about to get my hind parts whipped all the way from the Bronx.
Nah, I mean, but see, the thing is, and I try to distinguish that too. Now, we were my friends in 40 projects, Baisley projects. I mean, it wasn't no barriers. I mean, they were down the street from us. There was just a difference. But, a lot of my friends grew up in single family homes. Okay. Black folks lived all around Queens in single family homes. So,
well, take me to this. Take me to what's happening in Harlem, in Brooklyn, in Baltimore, in Washington, D.C.
Hey, you know what's happening. It's gentrification, man. They're pushing us out. We can't get the loan.
But we want to go. You can't get a sister to want to live in the hood. But the white girl moving down the street.
Yeah, but the thing is, see, there's a difference. Our brothers and sisters will walk past them and mug us. That's just bottom line, bro. I've seen that too many times. Walk past somebody, come run up on me. Ain't nothing funny. Ain't the only thing moving is the money. You know what I'm saying? That's the way it is. They walk right by them. They could be wearing a Rolex and have on a nice suit. And I'm over there with holes in my pockets and they grabbing me up, I mean, it's happened more than once. So, but yeah, that's how we treat each other. If we wasn't doing that to each other, and God forbid how they treat the women, I ain't even gonna go into that. Because I'm gonna tell you, I was telling somebody yesterday that when I lived in Silver Spring, one of my friends lived in the building, a gorgeous woman. She said all the time these guys are knocking on the door and trying her door handle. Okay, so she had to be real vigilant about getting in that apartment. And we talking Silver Spring, man. We ain't talking South Bronx. We ain't talking Southeast. So I couldn't even imagine how they get treated in those areas. You know what I'm saying? When they going in their apartments, So if we treated each other better with respect, I guess we'll move back. But if they breaking into your joint, stealing your stuff, and breaking into your car, I mean, how many times you want to be subjected to that, or shooting you or stabbing you, and or setting you on fire, whatever craziness that they're doing out here today, and then the police say, or the news people say, non-life threatening injury. Donnie, they said that about a guy that's in a wheelchair permanently that don't even know what planet he's on, non-life threatening injury. I'm like, really? This dude is a shell of himself.
His head hanging off.
Yeah. He don't know. He in a wheelchair, don't even know what, he can't even speak anymore.
I'm going to ask you another question that I bet you no one has ever asked you. and I think you're going to bring a very unique response. Now, you from Jamaica, Queens. Your roots, New York City.
Mm-hmm.
How do we bring Baltimore and D.C. closer together?
Well,
I look at Howard University,
yeah.
WHUR. I think the world of HUR. I mean, nowhere is perfect, but I just love the Cosmopolitan. It's the most political city. Then I look at Baltimore, just 45 minutes up the road. We got WEAA.
Yes,
we've got a lot of history. We've got a lot of greatness, but there's a difference, and it's more than just 45 minutes. It's more than just a couple of degrees on a longitude and latitude. There's a certain mentality. I mean, I look at the state of Maryland, Carl. I'm about to cut deep, so put on your apron. We got a black governor. We got a black treasurer. We got a black attorney general. We got a black mayor, a black city comptroller, a black city council president, a black speaker of the house. We got blacks in the majority of the predominant positions, but we're suffering. We're struggling.
Right.
They're just down the road, 45 minutes. Washington, D.C. And I'm not at all painting D.C. as a panacea, as a perfect place, as a utopia. But there's something about that mentality in D.C. that when you go into a business, you expect to see a black in charge.
Well, and that's a good thing. But I can tell you, Donnie, how
I know it's not always like that, but how do we lift our trajectory?
Well, one of the things is that you got the CIAA tournament there.
Yeah, we do.
That's helpful.
Yeah,
that's
do.
helpful.
Let me
Bringing
put the
people
plug
to
up
the
for that
city
right now.
and showcasing all of your venues and all of your restaurants and your jazz clubs and all that, and all of your tourist destinations. And then, come on, man, let's think about this. Your tourist destinations don't always have to be downtown. They could be in Sandtown. They can be other places.
If the city and the powers that be invested in Sandtown, in East Baltimore and West Baltimore, we invest in a harbor place. Now we got a new black developer. Imagine that.
Yeah.
But the harbor's dead. They put all of this money in the harbor and they put no money uptown. I come to DC, even in Southeast, Benning Park, they got a football field, a recreation center with a football field with lights.
Yeah. And see, that's the thing. But it has to be, and going back to Jamaica, Queens, when Rochdale was first built, they didn't build that library that we have now. And you know what it took? It took our parents standing in the middle of the street, stopping the traffic to get them to come build that library, and they did it. So that's what it takes. It takes what did it say? Power doesn't concede until there's a protest.
Power concedes nothing without demand. It never did, and it never will.
And it never will. And that shows you and it tells you that we have to have a concerted effort to get things in our community, and we have to demand it.
No, God, we too busy on TikTok
and all that crap, and we ain't moving. We're not progressing.
We too busy on TikTok. We on TikTok.
Yeah.
Don't you want to be on TikTok, Carl?
And
to help with the protest, Carl, we want to be on TikTok.
We want to be famous for no reason at all. But and we gotta. And the thing about it, Donnie, is that you go in and you have a discussion with your mayor and council, and you say, look, here's the things that we want in these areas. And
we want our children to learn. Our children can't even write in cursive, brother.
Yeah, I know. And Donnie, that's by design. Come on, man.
Where they gonna work at? The kid got a tattoo. The kid got a tattoo right here. Yeah. Where is he gonna work, bro?
Where is he gonna work? Exactly. I seen a young lady had one all on her face. Where's she gonna work at?
Baby, you're beautiful without that. Who told you you need a tattoo all over your body? What man wants you? You got a tattoo right here. Well, damn.
Yep. We doing some crazy things, man. We doing some crazy things.
We leave nothing to the imagination.
Nothing. But see, that's the thing, Donnie. We gotta be the adults in the room. We gotta be the adults in the room, man.
You can't even trust the preachers, Carl Brown. You can't even trust the damn preacher.
Preachers or the teachers. Preachers or the teachers. And then, come on, man, let's look at it. Let's examine the educational system, all right? So in Baltimore, I had a black superintendent. I think you might still have one right now, right?
Yeah, we do.
So
Sonia
why is it
Santalisa. I was in a
well,
restaurant yesterday and she was right there. I wanted to
yeah.
take some mashed potatoes and throw them at her.
Why? But why is it that our kids are not learning? It's because by design,
Because
man.
there's no accountability. There's no accountability. Nobody's checking the checker.
Right, but here's the other thing though. I've seen on TikTok so many fights in the classroom. And that to me is just crazy. And a lot of times, you know what they're fighting over? When the teacher, you know, takes their phone. And then they get into this whole battle. Or two kids get into a battle, you know, and then what happens? The teacher tries to stop and then they out for 6 months. I mean,
I saw this one teacher get smacked, and I hope her family came and found that little girl. I think they moved the little girl out of town, but this little girl put her hands on this senior woman, and let me tell you, it was nothing funny about it.
Yeah,
it could be my mother, my aunt, my sister.
Right.
I will rock your world. You put your hands on my mother.
Yep.
I don't know where you're gonna live, but you ain't living here no more.
That's true. That's true. And then
you better hope you make it through the night.
Yeah, let me tell you, man.
And then they got these people telling you about Dr. Spock. Oh, time out, Johnny. Time out. Time out don't work around yet.
It don't work. It
my
never
father would
works.
say, take my clothes off. Go run your bath water. I don't know if you saw Roots, but we got something Kunta Kinte ain't never seen.
But hey, here you go. I say put cameras in the classroom. Okay, put cameras in the classroom so the parents, you know how they do in these nurseries, in nursery school,
you
they have
can see
cameras everywhere.
That
So
makes sense.
You can see the animal that is in that classroom with the teacher. You know, oh, my kid never would do that. Because I remember, you know, I used to talk a lot. So my mom would come up to the school because if she wasn't working in the school I was in, she come up to the school and she say, yeah, tell the teacher right in front of me, right in front of the class, if you need to beat him, go ahead and beat him. And then when he come home, I'm going to beat him when he get home. Okay? Now, I had some Jamaican teachers along the way, bro. And Miss Cowan, she ain't play that. Oh, my God. She had a whole thing of rulers. And she whack you real good. And she was our math teacher. And I'm going to tell you, man, one of the guys now, I don't know if he worked for Supreme or whatever, but we used to call him the human calculator because this brother was brilliant. But he wound up selling that crack, man. But he was brilliant. Okay? So, and he was in my math class with Miss Cowan. So that tell you something right there, man. But yeah, we gotta do better. We gotta teach our kids better. And we gotta, you know, be the example, and we gotta go to unfortunately, the elected officials and discuss with them what we want. Because guess what? Everybody else does. And what happens? They get what they want. They get their football fields. They get their new textbooks. They get a coat of paint on the school.
In 1973, they brought the lottery, said that we get money for education.
Right.
We get $23,000 per pupil. But our kids are dumb as a bag of rocks.
That lottery thing is a fallacy. That was a ruse to get it done.
In a Democratic legislature, a Democratic General Assembly, all of them, black and white Democrats lied to black people.
All the time. And
I don't trust them.
And we take it out, you know, we take it, man. Yeah, we need more parent involvement, but hell, if the parents act like the kids, we don't need them in the classroom either.
But these politicians are full of lies too.
Yep.
They just kick the can down the road. That's what they do. They kick the can down the road. I liked Hogan. Let me tell you, I loved Hogan. I made money with Hogan early too. The Democrats in Maryland, I don't know, man. We got a lot of stuff with us.
Yeah, we
Baltimore, 9-1
overlooked us.
Democrat. This city got $640 million from the American Recovery Relief and all of that. Where the money at?
And what do they do with the money? What do they do with the money? There's no accountability.
We tend to give it to people we like.
You know, and that's why you got to put your wish list on them from the mayor on down and all of your state politicians. You got to put your wish list together and say, hey, we want, you know, community centers, libraries, whatever you want. You got to put that list together. It's got to be a concerted effort, you know. And I can tell you, man, there's a lot of leaders down there. You're a leader, you know, Wayne Frazier and a couple other brothers out there. Y'all come together, put this list together and demand that you get these things. And demand a timetable, because guess what? Everything is written in the budget. All right? And you get your stuff in there as a line item in the budget, and you make sure that these guys fund it when the time comes. Because everything's in the budget.
So, Carl, let's give us a rundown. Thank you for joining us today. Was there anything you didn't talk about that you wanted to share?
Yeah, I want to share this. We have at Howard University, under the DC SBDC, which is the District of Columbia Small Business Development Center, we have put together a marketplace. And it's like an Amazon or Etsy, but the only thing is we don't charge for the services. So if you sell products on there, you charge $10, you get the $10. It's your, however you collect your money, whether it's Zelle, Shopify, or Square or whatever, you collect your money. We don't collect any money. And we're using this as a tool to teach our students, faculty, staff, and alumni, but it's open to friends of Howard University. So if you out there in Baltimore and you selling something and you want to get on our marketplace, just go to shopdcsbdc.com, shopdcsbdc.com, and look for sell, set up a store, and they will help you set the store up, and you'll be up in business within 2 to 3 hours with your products already on there. So shopdcsbdc.com. Another thing that we got going on, and this is because of the pandemic, when they were giving out the EIDL, which is economic injury disaster loans.
Hold on. It's SBDC.org, right?
Yeah, that's my website.
But
for the marketplace is .com.
Okay.
Yeah, different. So during the pandemic, the initial pandemic, they were giving out EIDL and PPP loans. And we found out that the reason why our companies didn't qualify is because low credit scores, didn't pay their taxes, no financial infrastructure, no business bank account, and a couple other reasons. So we put together a financial literacy program to help us overcome those things and to be compliant with the Department of Licensing Consumer Protection on the state of Maryland. You know, the state office where you get your business license at. And we also wrote a comic book, Sammy the Saver, for junior high and high school students. And this comic book talks about how to save money, how to invest money, how to spend money wisely. And it's been very well received. Number one. Number two, we got a cartoon coming out on that as well. So we have been very proactive in changing our community from youth all the way up to senior citizens. So, and then recently I was afforded the opportunity to give away over 100 computers here on the campus of Howard University. So, you know, that was a feat in itself. And I didn't know that the the need was so great. But the organization is Human IT. So if you could reach out to them, they're located out in California. They give out computers to nonprofits, and it's Human I-T. Great organization. They're in a partnership with Visa, and they gave us, over 100 computers, and we gave them out. It only took 2 hours to give out 100 computers. I thought it would take a couple of weeks to 2 hours. So
we
that's what we do.
Hey, what fraternity do you belong to?
Kappa Alpha Psi.
You said Omega Psi Phi. I'm sorry. What'd you say?
No, bro. No. Let's be clear. Kappa Alpha Psi.
K-A Psi.
K-A Psi. Yep.
That means you can twirl the cane.
Well, I'm not that good at it, but yeah, I can. But yeah, it's a blessing to be on the campus at Howard University, to be at a HBCU. I celebrate all HBCUs.
Good
Yes.
stuff.
And let me tell you, and I celebrate Morgan. And I'm thankful that we finally got the money out of the state legislature that was holding it for so long to build out that campus, to make it beautiful. It's all about coming together and being one. We are one, and that's that I firmly believe that, and that's what motivates me to do what I do every day, man.
Good deal. Carl, we're going to get up out of here. Thank you very much for joining us today. You've touched a lot of people. You shared a lot of information. DC, SBDC.org. We can't wait to bring you back. And we're going to have to bring you over here to Baltimore. Plus, we need to come over and bring the Black Wall Street Awards to your Small Business Development Center. We'd like to do a ceremony over there. Is that okay?
Oh, yeah. Come on, man. We can do that. We can definitely do that.
All right. I'll be
right here on the campus in the school business.
We would love that. Up to date, down tomorrow, do your day and everything will follow. Nothing to it but to do it. I got to do it, regardless of how I feel. I am somebody. I am my brother's keeper. Good morning, world.